In my last video, I talked about how I made $10,000 a month as a small Twitch streamer. However, I know that $10,000 a month is not usually your first income goal. It certainly wasn't mine. My first income goal was $2,000 a month. I thought if I could make $2,000 a month, that would be enough to pay all of my bills and be a full-time streamer. And from a lot of the clients that I've worked with too, it seems like $2,000 a month is a really common first income goal. So what I want to do is break down some easy ways that you can make $2,000 a month without needing hundreds of viewers in order to do it. Let's go, baby. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know about making $2,000 a month is that before you do it, it seems impossible. If you haven't made $2,000 a month through your stream before, you probably feel like it's gonna take you doing something super over the top, putting in loads of work and loads of effort in order to get to making $2,000 a month. And I know because I thought that exact same thing, but let me tell you, it is actually not as difficult as you think that it's gonna be. Once you make the 2,000, you're gonna look back and be like, oh, this actually isn't that hard. The problem with this thought process is that it will prevent you from even trying, or it will help you come up with more and more and more excuses about why getting to this $2,000 a month is impossible for you specifically. Maybe everybody else in the world can do it, but there's something unique and special about you that makes it impossible. Hit my camera, that's nice. So let me tell you, that is not true. You have things inside of you already that you can share that will make you $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. Believe it or not, that is true. And you don't need hundreds or thousands of viewers in order to make that happen. You just need to know a little bit more about business and have a better business model surrounding your content. So let's get into what that could look like. Now, as with the last video, we're not going to wait until we have hundreds or thousands of viewers in order to make this $2,000 a month. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the things that we are using to monetize our streaming brands are things that aren't reliant on having massive scale, meaning lots of people paying attention to us. This means subs, bits, tips, merch. None of those things are included in this business model. This is something completely separate, and all of those normal streamer monetization options are just the cherry on top. So the first way that you can make $2,000 a month through your Twitch stream is with coaching. So why coaching? Okay, I've been a stream coach for 2.5 years, and it was the first thing that I started doing in order to build a stronger business model around the content that I have. I've done a ton of coaching. I've worked with hundreds of people at this point. It was a very great way to start my business and to start thinking about how I can be making more money without relying on having tons of people around me in my space watching me. It sounds creepy. Coaching is one of those things that you can get started doing tomorrow if you wanted to. All you have to do is figure out what you are going to be helping your clients with and figure out a methodology, a framework of how you are going to be helping them. So this usually looks like you having a series of questions that you ask to help inspire insightful thought in your clients. A lot of people think that in order to be a coach, you have to be way more knowledgeable than everybody else is about the subject that you're coaching on. This isn't actually true. This is because there's a difference between coaching and consulting. In coaching, it is all about the student. It's not about the way that you coach or you even being able to be a teacher. What you're there to do as a coach is to ask insightful questions to help a student get to the answers on their own and to hold them accountable on the actions that they are saying that they are going to take. Whereas a consultant is usually someone who has a lot of expertise that they can share, and that's whenever you typically get more into the teaching side and giving not results, obviously both have results, but giving actionable advice, stuff that people need to be focusing on. So coaching and consulting are two different things, and you don't need to be an expert to get started with coaching. Let's say you charge about $100 an hour for your coaching. This means that you only need 20 clients a month in order to make $2,000 a month. Now, it's pretty easy for most people to be able to find 20 people out in the world using all of the content platforms that you already have set up that need a little bit of guidance from you with whatever it is that they're struggling with. And if you break this down even further, this is only 5 clients a week. That's pretty simple whenever you look at it like that. However, some of you are probably thinking $100 for an hour of my time. Like, what? I am not worth that. But the reason for this is because you don't really understand the customer journey of online digital products and online business. Whenever you're building stuff out for a customer, what you want to do is you want to think about all of the different offers that you have within your product suite and how each one of those products is going to take your customer closer and closer and closer to you. The closest that they can get with you is having a one-on-one meeting with you where you're directly helping them. In fact, a lot of people who are doing coaching packages are typically charging like $5,000. Some people are even charging $10,000. And the reason for that is because your time is so incredibly valuable. It's the only thing that you're not going to get more of, and it's the closest way that a customer can interact with you and get help from you. And so that's why you should value your time way higher than you do an online course or an ebook or anything else that you create for people. What trips a lot of people up here is the idea of having to get 5 clients a week. So this seems like it's going to be really difficult, but you have to consider that as a content creator, you are already putting so much out into the world. You have social media like Instagram and Twitter. You might have a YouTube channel where people are finding you. You are streaming on Twitch and you're really close to the people over there. And the amount of people paying attention to you already is relatively high, even if you are a small streamer. The thing is with client acquisition is that it's going to get easier. Actually having a service or having a product is going to help you grow your followers because of the way that you're going to advertise it and you're going to market it and you're going to go through launches, and that's going to generate a ton of hype. So even if you don't have a lot of people now, having coaching is something that is going to help you grow your followers over time. The 2 places that I think are the best in order to get new customers for this, the first one is through your Twitch stream, which is really important if you want to sell coaching to be able to have a really close connection to the people who you are wanting to coach. So if they want to hire you, they need to feel what it's like to actually get attention from you in the first place and know whether or not you two vibe or not. So that's why it's really easy to sell coaching through streaming. It's also really easy, this is the second one, to sell coaching through YouTube. So what YouTube does is it's basically like your coaching business card that the YouTube algorithms, because there's not just one, there's like so many algorithms, will throw out these business cards constantly for you as long as you're mentioning your coaching in your YouTube videos. Now I'm actually building something to help you all build out your own YouTube channel. So if you are a streamer who's interested in learning more about growing on YouTube, having great thumbnails and titles, clickable videos, making better YouTube content, make sure that you go and check out, there's actually a link down below. Go and give me your email if you want to hear more about that in the future. So the thing is, with this $100 an hour from your coaching, it actually needs to turn into a coaching package, which means that you probably put together a package of either weekly meetings or monthly meetings, whatever your client is looking for, and you instead sell a $500 package versus a single 100-hour time slot or meeting time with you. The reason for that is because coaching isn't something that someone can get a ton of value out of if it's just one meeting. What they really need is they need consistent check-ins and you holding them accountable based on the actions that they said that they would take in previous coaching sessions. And so that's why it's really important at some point, once you understand your coaching methodology and your framework, I cannot talk today, y'all. Once you understand all of that stuff, that you build coaching packages and you sell those versus just your time a la carte. There is absolutely a drawback to coaching though, and that drawback is that it takes a ton of time. If I could go back and do it all again, I would not do coaching. I would instead just create digital products like ebooks and courses, because it is a lot easier to scale digital products than it is to scale your time, because your time is finite. So let's talk about digital products. Next way that you can make $2,000 a month as a small Twitch streamer is with a digital course. A digital course is really great because you package up your knowledge to help people achieve a specific transformation, and you sell that knowledge to them. And so it's a very easy way for you to scale your time, because what you're doing is you're front loading all of the effort and then you are selling that thing forever. A course is really great for those of you who you just don't want to have to constantly be checking in with people, keeping up with their situation, and you just want to worry about you and worry about yourself. I had to stop because I made myself laugh. I talk a little bit more about this thought process in this video right here, so go check that out. It's super important to think about that. If you decide that you want to build an online course, you're probably going to build an online course that's worth around $197. So this is going to be a $200 course that you send people through that they will get a specific transformation from. And you only have to sell 10 courses in a single month in order to make $2,000. This is so simple. In my opinion, this is actually simpler to do than to sell 10 coaching sessions, because the thing is, whenever you're selling a coaching session, you have to actually go directly to people. You have to get on calls with them. You have to have like an application for them to be able to apply. There's a lot more work and effort that goes into that versus you building a course and getting 10 sales from the course, because the course itself is something that you can actually use Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Twitter ads in order to get it in front of more people. And you can build a funnel that builds off of that course that upsells any other products that you make in the future, which means that you're going to take a paying customer into somebody who has paid 2, 3, 4 times for some kind of transformation from you. Now, obviously, in order to have a digital course, you have to actually make the digital course, because you can't just sell a thing that doesn't exist. So the entire process of making a digital course is something that will take you a bit of time in order to do right. However, you should be able to get it done in a couple of weeks, as long as you follow formats and you understand exactly how to do it. After you build your digital course, then you're actually going to go into a launch phase, which is where like all the attention and hype and excitement is going to come from. Think of like the most exciting stream that you've ever done in your life. Now think that you're able to do that once every couple of months, and you're actually launching a product to people. That is super cool, because not only does it come with the hype, it also comes with the money too. Now, launching a product is actually a multi-phase process. It does take a lot of time. It's usually very hectic. It can be very overwhelming. Typically, after people launch a product, they'll take a ton of time off, because you kind of like need to take a break from everything that you've been doing. Launches can be very stressful, but honestly, they're totally freaking worth it. The next thing that you need to worry about whenever you're creating and selling an online course is the maintenance of it. So after you've had this launch period and you've gotten it out there and it's finally officially out there, what is the structure of how people are going to continue signing up for that course? Is it gonna be evergreen where they can continue signing up, or is it something that you'll launch it once and it's closed forever? Is it something that maybe you just do a couple of launches a year? How much effort will you put towards updating it constantly and changing it and making sure that your students are being heard and listened to and that you're paying attention to them? What level of maintenance do you want to put into the course after it's finished? Because you're gonna need to know that in order to build the course itself and to know what bonuses and additional things need to be included in the course. Because if you want a course that you launch once and then it's like completely hands off, that looks very different from a course that you launch consistently throughout the year. The next thing that you can do to make $2,000 a month as a small Twitch streamer is create and launch an ebook. An ebook is really simple because it can be literally everything. An ebook doesn't necessarily have to give someone this major transformation like a course does. It can be a collection of short stories, it can be a photography book, it can be literally anything. And so this is the lowest barrier to entry digital product that you can make. If you're having that imposter syndrome and you're like, I don't know what to teach in a course. Are you kidding me? No one's gonna listen to me. Then an ebook is a really simple way for you to get started with just the idea of creating a product, launching it for a group of people, and just going through that entire process to see what it's like. That's actually what I did with my ebook, Build Your Dream Stream. That's all about how I spent 4 years streaming to 20 people and how I grew up to 250 average viewers. And that also includes some business advice in it as well. I talk a lot about monetization in there, so check that out if you haven't already. However, the downside to creating a book like this, let's say it's a $25 book. If you want to make $2,000 a month, you have to sell 80 of that book. And that can be really difficult if you're very small and you have no idea how to capture attention from people. Remember earlier how I talked about the customer journey, how you want someone to have a progression through all of your product suite to you? So think of like, typically this normally looks like you have a freebie, then you have an intro product, then you have a mid-tier, then you have a high tier, and then you've got like your high-end premium thing. Your ebook is usually one of the first paid products that someone is going to invest in whenever they learn about you and your brand. Ebooks are not really meant to be major income generators. They're not really meant to be a thing that is going to completely change your financial situation. Although if you can get your ebook up to $2,000 a month, it probably will change your financial situation like it did for me. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's a very, very introductory product. It's not meant to make you a ton of money. The main point of your ebook is to add depth to your brand, which is going to make you more of an authority within whatever space you're in, and to start someone's paid journey with you. So the ebook is actually there to get them to go a little bit deeper, and then the next product is there to get them to go a little bit deeper, and then the same and the same. I also have a video about pretty much everything that I did in order to create and launch my book. So if you want to check that out, that is right here. This, I seriously, someday I will put into a course, but this is the basic foundational stuff that you need to know for now if you're interested in launching your own book. Your first step is actually creating the book. So you have to make the thing, you have to launch the thing, and then you have to have maintenance on the thing, just like you would with a course. The funnels are going to look a little bit different. So the way that you're actually going to structure someone finding out about your book, buying your book, and then how they get the book is going to look a lot different from the way that it will whenever someone learns about your course, finds your course, and then ends up buying your course. But all of those points still need to be hit. So you still need to build the thing, launch the thing, and think about what level of maintenance you want to put into the thing after it's already created. If I could go back and change the order that I launched stuff in, I would definitely not do coaching first, and I would not do an ebook second. The reason that I decided to take that path was honestly because I was scared. I thought that if I launched that stuff, that people were gonna hate me. If I went for a premium product first, that meant that I was just like, who was I, right, to charge $1,000 for a course whenever I'd only had 20 viewers on a platform that I was educating on? Like, no, that's not going to work, right? That was my thought process. And the problem with that thought process is that it made me take tiny little baby steps instead of brave steps that would have put me 10 times further ahead where I am now. But the thing is, you can learn from my mistakes. You don't have to be a baby and like timidly step into coaching and then launch this little tiny $25 product. You have stuff inside of you right now. I promise you that you can build a $200 course or a $500 course, and you can sell that to people. And that ultimately is way smarter than coaching or building this intro product. Both of those things are great to have as part of your business model, but the courses are going to be so much easier for you all, I promise you. And I know almost everything there is to know about these freaking things, so I can help you with it. Regardless if you want to do coaching or a course or an ebook or a combination of all three, which you technically should be doing at some point, they're all pretty easy, honestly. They seem really scary and intimidating at first, but after you start to learn the things that it takes to actually make them, it's not as difficult as you think that it is. It just seems like it is right now because you don't know how to see beyond into the actual work that it's going to take in order to create them. But regardless, selling 10 of something or even 80 of something is going to be a lot easier than waiting for hundreds of people to subscribe to your Twitch stream, which are only going to get $2.50 every single month from each individual person. You're going to need way more attention and eyeballs in order to do that than you're going to need in order to launch a product. And that's why products, services, and everything else are so much better for you if you want to hit this first income goal and you want to hit it fast. If you don't believe that this is something that you can do as a small streamer, I talk a lot more about scale in this video and why you don't need tons of people paying attention to you in order to have a consistent, strong income for yourself. So go ahead and check that out. I'll see you over there. I love you so much. Bye. I'm tired of talking. Okay, see ya.